I'm joined by Ali, aka Y Tribe, and featured vocalist Elizabeth on the latest single, Enough Is Enough. Ali, you were brought up in Nigeria. Has African music always influenced what you do?
It has had an influence on what I do. But not just African music, across the board, reggae, jazz, and R&B. But it was the initial sort of stage. But I was born in this country, so the initial love for music started here, and I went back to Nigeria when I was about 7 years old. So the African influence came in from there.
What's the dance scene like over there?
It's kind of different from here. They're all into more R&B sort of soul. Nothing too hard. Anything over 110, 120 BPM is a bit too heavy for
much.
them. Yeah.
So how come you came back?
I just thought, I needed to sort of educate myself, come back here and see the scene and everything like that. And just came back and got into music, DJing again. And from the DJing point of view, you weren't let into the right places. There were too many people trying to be DJs. So I decided to try the production end of things. And that's hence the Y Tribe and Northwest End Records.
And where does that name come from, Y Tribe?
Y Tribe. Y Tribe is obviously the 25th letter in the alphabet.
Right. Okay.
I'm Yoruba, which is a tribe in Nigeria, western part of Nigeria, and that's where the Y comes from.
Elizabeth, next to you, how do you guys meet?
I'll let you talk now.
We met years ago. I think we were introduced by some friends or something.
Yeah.
And we just met like 8 years ago, and kept in touch and became good friends. And then one day we always talked about doing a tune together, and it just never happened. It was just like, he was always doing his thing and I was always doing my various projects. And then, one day it just happened. He played me a track. He played me a bunch of tracks, and Enough Is Enough was the music, and I loved it. So I thought, I'd take that away and see what I could come up with.
So what was the idea behind Enough Is Enough?
There wasn't really an idea. I had this backing track, and it had sort of medieval sounding guitar riff behind it, and we'd called it 10th Night. And Elizabeth heard it and she wrote, to it, and that's how it just more or less came off. And I loved the song, even though Elizabeth wasn't too sure, but I loved the lyrics. I didn't know what was going to happen with it, or, but we just went ahead and sort of, put it all together and sort of put it out.
It's very successful. 10,000 copies was sold under an independent label, which must mean that it's a massive track.
Yeah,
what's happening now with it?
Well, at the moment, it's released this next week. Still going out on Northwest End Records, but in collaboration with some other people to sort of boost the sort of finance, to obviously make a video and stuff. And we're hoping, we'll do pretty well. We can't pretty much say for now, but the feedback's been really good and the airplay on the radio has been good. So we're hoping for, a good little earner.
Elizabeth, can you give us a little taste of the track?
What track? Enough?
Yeah.
Oh, play the video.
Is it true you actually started your own label because of being turned down by so many labels?
Yeah, well, it was actually the DJing side of things. So, you weren't getting any work as DJ. So obviously I had to find some other way of, still being in touch with music. So I decided to make tunes. And obviously when you make your own tunes now, it's a lot easier for you to be able to put it out yourself, because when you approach labels, it's all a long story. And, so if you do it yourself, the white label stuff, and put it out, and, from there you can pick it up and see what happens.
Elizabeth, what are your main influences?
Soul, I guess, is one of the main ones.
And how about other vocalists? Who do you look up to?
Donny Hathaway.
Okay.
Tina Marie. Prince is my absolute, he's my idol.
Yeah.
Artist.
Yes.
So it's my idol.
You've worked with loads of different artists. Tell us about some of the people you've worked with.
I did, in the early days, I was kind of with this band that never got anywhere. But they eventually set up a label and we did the Greater Love thing, which was back in '95. And then I went on my first tour with Incognito, which was interesting, and it was an eye-opener. And I learned a great deal about touring and, that side of things, which was good fun, but very stressful.
Right.
And since then I've done like loads of sessions for people like De-Influence and Urban Species, blah, blah, blah. And it's been a while since I've done a solo project, and I got involved with MJ Cole.
Yes.
And also was working on that album. We've done like half an album now, which is due out in the new year. And I mean, we did this song like a year ago.
Yeah, definitely.
Over a year ago. And it was, you know, it was doing really well on the underground, and it just never seemed to go away. And so when I heard that they were putting it out properly, and he asked me if I wanted to get involved, I was like, yeah, great. And it's like I was saying to you earlier, it's like buses. You wait for buses and you don't do anything for 2 years.
That's it.
And then all of a sudden, everything just happens at once. You know what I mean? Which is great, but it's, you know.
You have to be selective now.
I tell you what, it's all good. I'm really pleased with the way things have turned out with this single.
Yeah, well, you're both getting great publicity in yourself. You were voted, well, you were actually called the voice of garage by ID magazine.
Wow.
Do you think that was justified?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, I should be modest. Should be modest, but no, I'm quite chuffed about that. Yeah, it's a bit of a boost, you get me?
How about your future productions? Are you working on anything? You're going to be working together soon.
We're going to the studio in a minute to get on with some writing for
something new.
Yeah, I shouldn't say much about it.
Mum's
really,
the word.
So, yeah.
Right, okay.
We're in the
But
studio
it sounds
working on
tasty,
lots of stuff.
I can tell you that.
So you think the partnership works quite well then?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yes, oh yes.
There's no bullshit there, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
We've been friends for so many years, it's like, you know.
So we
it's
can get on with it.
It's easy, you know.